that the M23 and the AFC has repeatedly expressed its intent to march in Kinshasa, the very M23 Rwanda forces are backing right now. There is a subtlety that should not go amiss between words and actions. Rwanda's actions, side by side with the M23, are actions seeking to overthrow a legitimately established government. On the Luanda and Nairobi processes, we will remind the Rwandan representative that the DRC never left the negotiating table. It was Rwanda that did not show up on the 15th. It was Rwanda that did not come when President Lorenzo invited us. And President Kenyatta was also present. President Tshisekedi honored his commitment. In the past weeks, we have seen efforts, calls from this council, from our partners, from our friends, urging us all to renew our efforts within the Luanda process. The DRC never left the table. It is up to Rwanda to come back to the table. I would also like to remind the Council that in this very session, the government of the DRC, through my own statement, condemned all attacks against diplomatic missions in the DRC. We do this in our concern to abide by and respect international law. However, we have yet to hear Rwanda explain to us what its efforts have been to abide by international law and to respond to the violations it has been found guilty of in the DRC. Violations of the Charter, violations of international humanitarian law, violations of international human rights law. Members of the Council, I would like to close with what has brought us back here in less than 48 hours. Rwanda's outright contempt for this Council and its declaration that it will not, for the Council and the Council's declaration, and its demonstration that it is in the deluded belief that there is a Rwandan exception when it comes to international law. But what has also brought us here is the Council's choice 2 days ago to opt for words and not for actions. This Council is not unable to take actions. In fact, it is uniquely equipped to take actions. Hence, the question that remains at the end of this meeting is whether this Council is unwilling to act. Thank you.
I thank Her Excellency Ms. Kayikwamba Wagner for her statement. And I now give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Господин председатель,
Mr. President,
благодарим
we'd
заместителя
like to thank the
спецпредставителя
Deputy
Генерального
Special
секретаря
Representative of the
Vivian
Secretary General,
van der Perp
Vivian
за
van der Per, for her briefing.
Приветствуем
We
участие в заседании
welcome
министра
to
иностранных
the
дел
meeting the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Teresa Banga, and the representative of the other countries who've requested the floor under Rule 37.
Уважаемые коллеги, 2
Distinguished
дня назад
colleagues,
мы
2
встречались в
days
этом
ago
зале
we met in
и
this chamber
обсуждали
and discussed
тревожное
the
развитие
worrisome
ситуации на востоке
developments
этой
in the
страны.
situation in the eastern
Последние
DRC.
48 часов
Over the
она
past 48
стремительно
hours,
деградировала,
the
особенно в
situation has
связи с
significantly
захватом Гомы,
deteriorated,
где
especially with the
находится
seizure
свыше
of
миллиона
Goma,
гражданских.
where there are more than 1 million civilians
Россия
located.
решительно
Russia
осуждает
firmly
действия
condemns the
группировки
actions of M23.
Мы призываем к
We call
немедленной
for
остановке
a swift cessation
боестолкновений
of
и выводу
hostilities
бойцов этого
and a
незаконного
withdrawal
военного
of the
формирования
rebels of the illegal
из
armed
захваченных
formation
населенных
from
пунктов из
the
занятых
towns,
территорий.
villages and territory they've seized.
Мы также
We
призываем
also
внешние силы
urge
прекратить
external
поддержку
forces to
М-23
cease their
и
support for
отозвать свои
M23
воинские подразделения.
and to recall their military
Необходимо без
units.
промедления
There's a need without delay
возобновить
to resume
переговорный
the
процесс в
negotiation
Руанде.
process in Luanda.
Нельзя допускать
We
разрастания
must not
эскалации,
allow a
создающей угрозу жизни
spillover of the
людей
escalation
по
which
обе
could
стороны
threaten the
границы
lives of
и
people on
чревато
both sides of the
скатыванием
border and
межгосударственного конфликта
is likely
регионального масштаба.
to turn into an interstate conflict on a regional scale.
Мы глубоко
We
озабочены
are seriously
гуманитарными
concerned by
последствиями
the
происходящего.
humanitarian repercussions of what's
На
going
наших с
on.
вами глазах и без
In
того
front
тяжелая
of our
ситуация
very
в
eyes,
Северном
the
Киеве превращается в
already difficult
настоящую
situation in
гуманитарную
North
катастрофу.
Kivu is turning into an utter
Goma
humanitarian
фактически
disaster.
отрезана от
Goma
внешнего
de
мира,
facto is cut off
что
from the
может
outside
привести к
world.
тяжелейшим
This may
последствиям
have
для жителей
serious
города
consequences for the
и бежавших
inhabitants
туда
of the town
внутренне
and the
перемещенных лиц.
IDPs who have fled there.
Вновь
Once
выражаем
again, we would
соболезнования
like to
семьям
express our
погибших
condolences
граждан
to the families
ДРК,
of the
миротворцев
civilian
ООН
victims
и
of the
павших бойцов
DRC,
сообщества
the UN
России и Юга.
peacekeepers, and the fallen
Мы
SADC
солидарны с
soldiers.
правительством
We
ДРК и
stand in
государств,
solidarity
потерявших
with the
своих
governments of the
военнослужащих.
DRC and those
Желаем
states
скорейшего
who've lost their
выздоровления всем
service
раненым.
personnel.
Хотел бы
We
подчеркнуть, что Россия
wish them
безоговорочно
speedy
осуждает
recovery.
нападение
We'd like to
миротворцев.
underscore that Russia
Это абсолютно
unequivocally condemns the
неприемлемо.
attacks